Hi, just a quick message. I just spoke to a friend and we were going to catch up for a coffee. So we're deciding on where, and he was like, yeah, I think we should catch up around our area. I was like, how about we go to the city tomorrow? Because we normally go to a cafeteria because I like the coffee there. And he's like, hmm, there's a 31st of August march there, and there's going to be all these racists, and they're going to harm or they're going to beat up everyone that they see who's not white. And I was like, where are you getting this idea from? Like, seriously, I mean, and he was genuinely afraid. Like, he said, no, no way, I'm not going to go. And I couldn't understand, like, how come, we get so scared so easy, or people get so scared so easy. You just got some people who are wearing masks. It's just that they parade and in a military like fashion, and somehow they're supposed to scare you. um, by the way, they are not even brave enough to show their faces. I mean, from what I know, they just have masks on their faces, and they march around, just scaring people because they march in that military fashion, and their outfits are more like, sort of semi-military, if you like. I don't know what they're trying to portray, but look, one thing is for sure: they're not brave. Definitely, they are definitely a very small minority, and they are not the people who have honor, because like we have seen the marches for peace in Gaza, for example. You haven't seen any masks there, even though in the start there was a bit of targeting, if you like. But now the political opinion in Australia has gone in the favor of Palestine and Gaza. So the authorities have softened as well. But we've never seen, and I've myself gone into the protests at times for Gaza. And, there was never any issue of any masks. So why do these people need masks, right? It's because they don't want to be identified, because they want to create trouble of some sort. I mean, this is the idea I can get. I mean, this is what a common sense inference is, if you like. I don't know for sure, but this is what one can infer from such practices. And the other thing is that they are so minuscule, they're so small in number that it should just not bother anyone, to be honest with you. And so I think his name was what, Frederick Douglass. He said the limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they oppress. So if you are going to give in, and if you're going to act like you're oppressed, and that you are scared, and that you can't do, you can't perform your everyday tasks because these people are going to do a march on 31st of August, you are imposing um, oppression on yourself. Don't do that. There's not reason for that in any case. Like I said to you, mostly white Australia, or the Australians who are white, they are not in favor of these people or their tactics. They are genuine people who are caring and who are welcoming to a lot of people who are coming from overseas. It's just a very tiny minority, and you have this minority in every denomination, whether it's Hindus or Muslims or Christians or whatever it is. So nothing to worry there. The other thing that I was going to point out was, in terms of these people and their mentality who wear masks, right? In reality, if they are talking about migrants, the real migrants who have come, so I think it was Bob Katter, I think one of the politicians in Queensland recently, and there's so many memes about him. The people are making a lot of fun and they're laughing about it. But it is like, why would you be ashamed of your roots? I mean, wherever you come from. Have you seen, for example, white Australians saying, "Well, we are ashamed that we've come from England, or from, I don't know, Netherlands, or wherever from Europe, any European country they've come from. Um, in fact, the truth is that the only genuine people are the First Nation people or Aboriginals. They are the only natives of Australia. Apart from that, whoever has come, and I mean, some have come 20 years ago, some 30 years ago, like me, for example, some maybe 50, some maybe 100. Bob Cara came, he said, I think 140 years ago, but he still came, right? You're still a migrant. Um, if you're not a migrant, you're born here, okay, so your father was a migrant, or his father was a migrant, or his father was a migrant. Um, so stop pretending that, there was a practice that was okay at that time and it's not okay now. I think it's hypocrisy. Really, if anyone should march that they want the governance and state in their power and the power in the state and everything else, the real right is of the first people, the Aboriginals.